Hello doctor, welcome to my YouTube channel. Are you currently in the process of ranking your preferences for specialty training and finding the process a bit overwhelming? Well, I've been there and that's why I created this video. I'm going to be talking about how to create a personal priorities checklist with the aim of ensuring that the decision process is a lot smoother and it aligns with what truly matters to you. Subscribe, and if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer all the questions. Let's get straight into it. So before we begin, what is a personal priorities checklist? So this is basically a list of factors you consider while making a major decision. And in this case, the major decision is how to rank your preferences for training. So what is preferencing? Usually when you write your MSRA exam and sit your interview and do the other things that are necessary for the selection process, you're also expected to rank the training programs and or the locations that you would prefer. So your decision should align with the factors that you consider of utmost priority to you. And that's the aim of this video, to decide what factors are important and what should be considered while making this all-important decision. Remember, your training takes a period of at least 3 years, 6, 7, 8 years if you're doing other specialties that require longer times. So you want to make the right decision so that you don't spend the entire period regretting the location that you have chosen. So this leads me to my first point. Picture yourself where you want to live. How important is it to live close to family, friends, and other support systems? How is the cost of living where you're going to be? You want to find out the housing costs, the commuting costs, how manageable is commuting from where you want to live, the distance to the hospitals where you're going to be training. You want to find out about the schools. If you've got children, are they already settled where you currently are? How is the transition process going to be if you have to move to a new school? If you have a spouse that's not in the medical field, for example, are there job opportunities readily available in the city of your choice? Are you someone who thrives better in a rural environment, somewhere more remote and laid back? Or are you someone who gets a kick out of living in a city setting? You want to know about the local amenities available. If you're someone that likes high-rise buildings, if you love being by the seaside, somewhere that's more mountainous, more if you're like into hiking and things like that. So all of those things should be considered. Next, let's talk about work-life balance. So you want to assess the different programs. You want to see how the rotational schedule is. Do they have lighter on-call schedules? Are the rotas flexible? You want to know how the commute is, the commute to work. Is this something I can manage? How's the distance like? How's the regularity of the bus or the train? Is it something I can cope with if I choose not to drive? You also want to find out about the support system, the particular trust or in the deanery that you hope to rank higher. You want to find out if they provide enough support for the trainees in the program. Are there mentor groups? Are there peer groups that can aid the process of the training and make it more enjoyable, less stressful? Work-life balance is very key, so it's something you should really do your research about. You can find out about it from colleagues in training, from social media, Reddit. There are websites like the GMC training survey, which gives a rough estimate of the work-life balance in different deaneries. Now for the third point. So for your professional growth, consider what training opportunities each program offers. Do you have any special interest in public health, for example, or research or the academia, teaching? How does the training program contribute to the progression in career for trainees that are interested in those fields? Is there enough support? Do they have a reputation for giving trainees exposure and opportunities to explore other aspects of their training and other areas of interest? You can get information about this from the GMC training survey, like I mentioned earlier. You can get it from deanery websites. So some deaneries will actually, in a bid to incentivize more people to come over or to choose their training program, they will actually make it clear that they do indeed support trainees in certain areas of interest. So it's always good to find out about this, because really your career progression is very important. You don't want to just be limited to only your specialty of interest if you've also got an inclination towards other fields like teaching or research. So you want to consider that as well. So another crucial point is the support system in each program. Will you have access to mentors? Do they have a rich resource, examination preparation resource bank? Do they have workshops, regular seminars, things to really develop you in the specialty training program? Are there peer groups? Is there a structured feedback system to ensure continuous improvements and learning? All of these should also be considered. Information about this can be gotten from the websites, from the deanery websites. You also want to find out if they've got a good mental health support system and a system that really just looks after your overall well-being throughout your period of training. So think about how each program aligns with your long-term career plans. Does the training align with your goals? Is there provision for trainees who have interest in exploring leadership roles? If you've got interest in going into academia or public health, does this align with you, with your long-term plans? Do they make provision for mentoring trainees in those areas? You also want to find out about where the deanery is located. Is there a high demand for doctors that are within the specialty of your training? For example, if you're going into GP training, the area you have chosen to go ahead to rank highly in your preferences, what are the job prospects like in that region? Do they have a high demand for GPs? Does that mean you may need to move after your training is completed? What does that look like? How will it fit into your long-term plans? See yourself in 5 to 10 years following training, and does it fit into your goals? So you want to explore all of that as well. So another point is incentives, specifically the TERS. So this is just for GP trainees. Some GP trainees might be interested in going for a region that provides TERS. What is TERS? It's Targeted Enhanced Recruitment Scheme, which is what they call the Golden Hello. It's the Golden Hello because its trainees are offered a one-off payment of £20,000 pre-tax if you choose to go into a training program in a location that has been hard to get doctors recruited into for a period of about 3 years or so. So it's like an incentive for more people to come towards that region. But people should also remember that even though they did mention that the areas are remote or rural, there are actually some good opportunities in some of those TERS regions, and some of the training programs are quite solid. But it's also very important to note that, firstly, the £20,000 is pre-tax. After tax, is quite less than that. And also, once you've accepted the offer, you cannot defer. If you do defer due to non-statutory reasons, you're going to lose the incentive. And also, you have to complete the entire period of training in that location, so you can't transfer to another deanery. All right, so this brings me to my last point, personal well-being. Okay, so when you're choosing an area to rank highly in the list of your preferences, you want to be sure that it makes provision for your personal interests, your hobbies, extracurricular activities that you have a passion for, because your mental well-being is of very, very high importance. You're going to go through an intense training program, which will take a toll on you in every respect. So you want to be able to have avenues to distress. You want to be able to have means of recuperating from difficult on-call shifts and all of that. So you want to find out if there are amenities available for you to explore other passions, other personal interests. How is the rota like, the schedule like? Does it make provision for you to get involved in other non-academic interests, non-clinical interests? So you want to consider all of that as well. You can find information about that from social media, Reddit, Facebook groups where people talk about the experience in their various deaneries. So yeah, that can give you a rough estimate of how that will be able to fit into your personal hobbies and interests. So usually after putting in your preferences and you submit your application, these preferences are locked. So you can edit it, but don't panic. If you do have a change of heart after a bit of more research and you would like to rearrange or reorder your priorities, your preferences rather, you've got a window after the results, the MSRA results are released, to be able to change or reorder your preferences. I think the window lasts up until about 48 hours before the first offers are released. So you can always change them after the results are out. So don't panic, you've got this. So as we wrap up, it's important to know that ranking your preferences for training is very key. You already know that, because you want to be able to put into consideration anything that supports both your personal and professional development. Remember, there's no perfect choice, but it's good that you align your preferences with what matters most to you. Everyone has their unique journeys. You may not always fit into what another person expects of you. You may not always choose what you're advised to choose. We've got different instincts, intuitions, and just go with what works best for you at the end of the day. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who you believe will benefit from it. If you don't mind, can you just put in the comments what you think ranks very highly for you in terms of your personal priorities? And let me know if you've got any questions. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos like this to help you in your medical career journey in the UK. Bye!